So I posted this on my community tab last night, and some of y'all were mad. So I'm ready to explain myself. Now, before I recap the final episode, let me just explain my thought process. When I posted that, I was watching the part where Amanda and Razvan were having dinner and they were talking about Thanksgiving, and his face lit up like a Christmas tree. He was so excited and so happy, and that's what melted my heart. Him being happy and his smile. And I was like, oh my God, I just want this for him so bad. Like, please let this relationship work. I do have the memory of a goldfish, so please don't forget that. I mean, I don't even remember what I had for dinner last night. I have a really hard time remembering anything because I think the biggest reason is I tend to hyper focus and I forget about everything else. So in the moment, I see Razvan really happy and Amanda looks happy and they both look like they're in love. So I'm only focused on that. I only see them being in love in that moment and I forget about everything else that happened before. I just need a little bit of time to really think about the whole picture. Now, the community post happened because I was in that moment. I was impulsive. I was impatient. I was in my feels and I was like, you know what? I got to post this. I got to get this out. I can't wait any longer. And by the way, this has caused me so much trouble in my life in general, in friendships, relationships, school, professionally, everything. It's just, I have a problem with impulse control and patience. I cannot wait. So yeah. That's what I did. And then afterwards, I had some time to think about it and to sit with my thoughts and to read my notes and write out my feelings for the recap. And then I realized, she might not be so genuine right now because I totally forgot that she switched up as soon as she felt like Razvan was going to dump her. So yeah, let's talk about what happened in this episode. We're obsessed with TLC and all the trashy reality TV. It's a recap. It's a recap. It's a recap. It's her last day in Romania, so she goes out and buys a bunch of gifts and she sets it all up for him on the table to surprise him. I thought that was super cute. So she admits on camera to the producer that she feels so bad about being very closed off and so standoffish, and she's worried that it was a little too late for her to kind of step it up and open up.
I want to show Razvan, my softer side and that I can be the loving partner that he needs. I have to open up and be more vulnerable to Razvan now.
And I felt for her. I really did because I used to be just like her. So I felt that. How could I not when I'm watching her and listening to her explain herself, and I'm like, wow, I used to be her. And I remember liking a guy so much, but I could not tell him. I didn't want to be that way. I so wanted to be like, yes, I like you so much. I care about you so much. But I just, the words would not come out of my mouth. I don't know why. But you know what I was good at? I was good at writing my emotions and I was good at gift giving. So those were the ways that I was able to express my feelings for a guy, very much like what Amanda is doing in this episode, which is why I know I'm totally projecting because I see my old self in Amanda. And so when she got him all those gifts and wrote him a card, I know, I'm pissing a lot of people off, but I couldn't help but to think that was genuine because when I did that, I was genuine because it was just impossible for me to express myself in any other way. And this goes way back to my childhood and how I was raised, by the way. I learned that in therapy. But that's a whole other story. But anyway, so yeah, I did think they were genuine. And I thought the gifts, especially her photos that she prepared and framed, I thought that was really cute. And I think Razvan was also very touched.
Hey.
Hello.
What is this?
Like a little present.
For what?
Because I love you.
Can I open?
Yeah, I got you this heart pillow so you can hug it and remember how much I love you. And a blanket that you can cuddle with and think of me. I printed off some pictures of us so that you can have some around your house.
Thank you.
Now it's time for them to have one last dinner before she flies out. And this is where they're going to discuss where they are in the relationship and how they're going to proceed. Razvan doesn't really know what to do. He's still struggling because of that fight they had where she brought up Jason, compared him to him, and was like, you're not a man. Like, I need a real man who can provide like Jason can. Like, that was messed up. Like, so mean and messed up. I mean, she was being honest, but like I said before, she knew from the get what he was doing, what he was pursuing, and he was completely honest with her. So it's like, if that's not what you wanted, why did you string him along, right? They get ready for dinner. I didn't really like Amanda's dress. It was kind of more clubby, but I noticed that she brought out her Chanel for this dinner. Oh là là, c'est très belle, très belle. J'adore Chanel. Of course, I can't afford one, but I enjoyed looking at it. Anyway, they get to their dinner and they sit down, they're having wine, and Amanda's like, so what do you want to do about us? Do you want to stay together or not? He's like, I love you. You're my best friend, but you're also my worst enemy, and I'm afraid things won't change. And she's like, it will if we both work at it. And at this point, I'm like, okay, she's really trying to convince him to stay in the relationship. And then she hands him a card because she has trouble speaking her emotions, which again, it tugged at my heartstrings because I understand where she's coming from. You know, that was me. So she hands him the card. He opens it. And what she writes in the card... You know, I don't want to be mean, but it was kind of juvenile, wasn't it? It was a little middle schooly, like, you are my soulmate, you are my one true love, you are my knight in shining armor, I love you. And I was like, oh my God. Even my letters that I wrote in high school were more eloquent than that. And I was only like 16 at the time.
You are my soulmate, my protector, my knight in shining armor. I'm sorry for everything I've done. I love you, Amanda. This is so sweet.
He liked it. He appreciated it. And I mean, I don't know if it was really the letter or if it was the bomb diggity boom boom dang dang they did all night long.
Are you gonna miss my kisses?
Yes.
Are you gonna miss something else that I do to you?
Yes. You're gonna miss Billy? You know who is Billy? It's a big boy.
And then she says, you know, I think since you already have your visa, the best thing would be for you to come to America. And why don't you come on Thanksgiving? And he's like, yes, that would be really nice. And I was shook. I was like, oh my God, she actually took the initiative to make a plan. So this, I'm sure, really convinced Razvan. Like, he was like, oh wow, she's actually making the effort. Not only making an effort, but she's putting a plan in place. And he was like, this is going to be my first Thanksgiving. Like, I've never had a Thanksgiving before. And Amanda was like, and you can meet my family. And he's so happy. He's like, yes, I get to meet your family.
I'm feeling really happy that Amanda wants me there for the Thanksgiving and meeting her family. And I asked that from the first day. And this is, I was hoping. And now she really gives me what I want and it makes me feel really excited for this.
According to Razvan, he sees all the effort that Amanda is putting in now. She's really working hard to opening up and she's really shown herself. So yeah, as long as she continues this way, he believes that their relationship will work. You know what I realized afterwards? I realized, oh, this doesn't really address or answer her initial complaint. And that was, she wants a provider. She doesn't want an influencer wannabe. She doesn't want a guy who's going to be making TikToks and Instagram reels and thirsting out on social media. Like, she doesn't want that. So what are you going to do? They never address that. Is she going to accept it or is she not? And guess what else I realized? You know how I kept saying that Amanda reminded me so much of myself? But did I mention she reminded of me when I was 16 or 17? And she's 31 right now. So I'm thinking she's very emotionally immature. And I realized she's been with her late husband for 12 years. She met him when she was 19 and was with him all up until now. So she's never been with anybody else. I feel like that would kind of explain why she reminds me of myself from when I was a teenager, because like mentally and emotionally, she still is a teenager. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm just trying to find excuses for her because I want them to work, but now do I really want them to work? I don't know. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I don't think they're going to work because I think when he gets to America and she really sees that, he's not able to work and he's doing his social media thing, it's going to drive her nuts and she's not going to like him. She's going to get the ick again and they're going to fight all over again. She's probably going to bring up Jason again. She's probably going to have that fight again. Like, it's going to happen again. If I were to make a wild guess, I don't think they're together right now. They might be at the tell-all, but like right now in real time, I don't think they're together anymore. What do you guys think? I want to think of the best case scenario. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I know that's a fault of mine. I do have a feeling deep down. Someone mentioned in one of my comment section that she was surprised that Amanda said, "I'm so glad I'm not leaving single."
So happy, like I'm not gonna be leaving here single. I'm just feeling so relieved.
And that is a little bit of a red flag. That kind of tells you where her mind is at. That instead of saying, "I'm so glad we worked things out and like I was able to show him how I really feel," it was, "I'm so glad I'm not leaving single." I'm sorry about the barking. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna go now. I love you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.